Hi, and welcome to the Spokane County GOP Legislative Action Podcast, where we discuss all the latest happenings in Spokane and the great state of Washington. Here with me to discuss some of the latest happenings in Olympia this week is the head of the Legislative Action Committee, Mrs. Stephanie Brendan. Stephanie, welcome.
Hi Jake, how you doing?
Great, fantastic. We're happy to have you here. So I know that there's a lot going on in the legislature right now, and a lot of the things that we're seeing are being pushed through without a lot of input from taxpayers like ourselves. But I was wondering if you can kind of break it down into just two or three major hot topic issues that folks should be aware of.
Yes, there are a few hot topic bills this week. Well, there's a lot more than a few, but I'll just talk about a few of them on here because it would take too long. But there are a few that I'd like to highlight. House Bill 2118. We're calling this the Kill the FFLs bill. This is a bill that would probably shut down most of the firearm dealerships in the state of Washington due to some really stringent security requirements that would cost firearm dealerships somewhere in the range of, I've heard, $300,000 to $500,000, and this is just not affordable, not doable. So it's kind of a backdoor way of really removing Second Amendment rights in Washington, and is just a really egregious bill. It has received quite a bit of attention and unfortunately has passed both the House and the Senate, and it's going to a floor vote. That is one to be watching for. And at this point, you need to email your legislators and go on the state website and make sure that you have noted your position against this terrible bill against our GOP value of supporting Second Amendment rights. The
Okay.
next one, okay, go ahead, Jake.
Oh, I was just going to ask, do we have a tentative date on when that's going to go to the floor or an idea?
I don't have a date. It'll go to the floor yet,
Okay,
but it's pending, so it could be any time.
any
And
day then.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, the next, because it just passed out of the Senate committee. And then the next one is Senate Bill 5838. And this is in the same position that's passed out of, it had already passed the Senate committee. It just passed out of the House committee. And so it's also ready for a floor vote. And it's for the AI task force. This is a new task force that would be under the Attorney General, and it would be so overseen by the AG office. It would be to advise on policy to control public AI, use of AI, and considering the former use of AI by state agencies for things like monitoring the social media for transparency and integrity of elections. We don't have a lot of trust that this use, in the
Right.
government will go any better.
Mhm.
And so we think, we believe as a GOP value in limited government, and we believe this is government overreach. And again, it will cost a lot of taxpayers' money to set up and pay for this task force that we don't want. And then the third one that does have a public hearing in this Saturday, actually, at 9 a.m. It's 2494, and it's for funding education. And this one's for operating costs and supplies and materials for schools, which sounds like a great thing. But when you have a budget surplus already, when you have levies, and bonds in place to fund schools, when you have massive people pulling out of public schools and
At
unenrollment
record rates, yeah.
at record rates, when you have kids that are not passing basic math and science, and you have a lot bigger problems in your education system, and throwing more money at the problem when we already pay an average of $18,000 per student in Washington
Hmm.
state, which is about $4,000 more than the national average already.
For
And now you're
subpar
going to add,
results, yeah.
yeah, with poor results. and people pulling kids out of schools, why do we need to set up a whole nother, taxpayer money to go towards more operating funds for schools? It just doesn't make any sense. So we definitely want people to sign in and against this bill before Saturday at 9 a.m.
And that's when the hearing is?
That's when there's a public hearing, yep, because this one is in
Okay.
one of the financial committees. So although public hearings, the cutoff for most public hearings for most committees was on Wednesday of this week, on the 21st. These types of bills that are in Ways and Means or any of the financial committees, the cutoff is next week, so they're still having public hearings, and then they'll go to the floor, which the first two I mentioned are already ready for floor votes.
Okay. And what was that last bill number? Just so folks just have it in their mind.
Oh, that one was House Bill 2494.
2494. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And so, not to derail us a little bit, but just in terms of the local GOP,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything that folks should be aware of, or maybe mark on their calendars coming up?
Yeah, some other events coming up. So for the local GOP, we have our county convention coming up on March 2nd on Saturday. So if you go to the main Spokane County GOP website, register to attend, have your voice be heard for the presidential candidates, the governor candidate. We'll have the two governor candidates speaking that morning, Dave Reichard and Simi Bird. So that will be exciting to hear those from those two Republican candidates. But there also is some other events, exciting events this week with the Let's Go Washington initiatives. For all those people that signed those initiatives, there is a rally tomorrow in Olympia at noon. So anybody that can on Friday make it to the rally, and then next week there are public hearings for 3 of the 6 initiatives: police pursuit, the parental rights, and the no state income tax. And the first hearing is on Tuesday, the 27th. That's for the no state income tax one. And then the other 2 have hearings on the 28th, next Wednesday. So make sure to sign in pro for, we actually get to sign in pro for something.
Yeah, that's a
For
rarity
3.
for us too.
Yeah, exactly. 3 of the 6 initiatives. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. As always, we really appreciate you taking the time and giving us all the lowdown on things going on in the party and the great state of Washington. So, if you liked our podcasts, please feel free to give us a like or a follow wherever you get them. And if you'd like to get involved in all this stuff that we're working on today, please visit our website at SpokaneGOP.com. Thank you.